everyone, for joining the Girls Talk Real Talk podcast as we welcome our guest, Brittani Buford-Towner, the COO of the Max Beauty and Supply Company. Join in on the conversation as she shares how the company came into existence, the discrimination she has experienced in the beauty industry, and what sets the Max Beauty and Supply Company apart from its competitors. Hey everybody, it's your girl Michelle with Girls Talk Real Talk, because when girls talk, just about anything can happen. Today on our show, we have Miss Brittani Buford-Towner, and I am going to let her introduce herself. So Brittani, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, everybody. I am Brittani Buford-Towner. I am the COO of the Max Beauty Co. We are a boutique-style beauty supply store and a luxury spa room, and I'm actually the in-house esthetician.
Okay, so I want to go back a little bit. How did you get to this place? What led you to opening your own place and doing everything that you're doing?
So I've worked in health insurance since I was 18. I recently just turned 36. And that's all I've done my whole life. And I've always been interested in skincare just because I suffer from hyperpigmentation. So I wanted to just really dive into it. And I decided to go back to school and get my esthetician license a few years ago. So I had my license. I would do friends and family, things like that. And then I was in the process of looking for a suite last year. And my mom calls me one night and she's just like, hey, I think we need to open up a beauty supply store. This is like 11 o'clock at night, okay? And I'm just like, what? Because it didn't sound right coming from her, because she's not the type of person to jump into something just out of the blue. I never heard her talk about it before, ever. So I was just like, okay, Mom, and I just kind of left it at that. Called her back the next morning. I'm like, do you remember calling me last night and saying we need to open up a beauty supply store? And she said, yes. I had a dream. She said, I feel like God was speaking to me. And I said, so you're serious? And she was like, yes. And if you can find a spot where you can do your aesthetics in the back, like, I just think it would be awesome. And she said, but I really feel like we need to do this. And I said, okay. And because my mom's not a real techie person, and she's a nurse by trade. But she just kind of took the backseat and let me kind of go off, look for a space. I had to do all the back end work in getting the business. We got a loan for the business. We found a space in August. We signed our lease in September. And the day we signed our lease, my mom had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
That night. So she had the heart attack, and she had to get a double bypass. So, wow. Yeah. So we had just signed our lease that day. And I was just like, Lord, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. She said you were talking to her about this. Now this happens, like, it really threw me off. But I knew this was something she was really passionate about doing it. So I just kept going. We had family come down. They helped. My best friends came in and helped get this together while she was recovering. And I was just kind of in between here and work, because I was still working full time, and the hospital while she was recovering. So we finally got to open November 7th of 2020. And she was here for the grand opening.
Well, I am glad that she was there for the grand opening.
My father passed in 2012, and he had heart issues. So I just felt like it was just happening all over again. It was crazy. And I'm my mom's only child.
So oh, wow.
I had like no siblings to kind of help, in this situation. But, God had me, and I still have really good family and friends that helped as well.
Well, I'm glad that everything turned out well because,
Yeah, thank
that's,
you.
but I kind of believe it was a message sent to you. Let me give you something to do in this time so that you won't flip out and stress out and do everything else.
Yep.
But yeah, so I know you said that you've got the beauty supply and then you've got the spa.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the beauty supply part of it first, and then
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
talk about the spa. What all is entailed in the beauty supply store part of your business?
So we decided to do. A lot of people haven't heard of it, but it's called a boutique style beauty supply. And our thought process behind it was, you know, let people come in where they are welcome, they're appreciated, and the shopping experience isn't overwhelming or overcrowded. So no, we're not a big warehouse full of all this supply, aisles and aisles. We're not. We literally started with like industrial looking bookshelves, and I'll show you in a bit just how it looks. And um, we decided to do like a wall with braiding hair, a wall with crochet hair. We recently just added a wig head wall. Before we had it on our counter, but we just revamped it to do an oil bar. I've been wanting to do one since we opened, and so I finally just did it. And I get so excited talking about the oil bar. I don't know why, but I do. But it's for like hair and skin, and you're able to put ingredients in it. We only charge you for the bottle size, so a 4 ounce bottle or an 8 ounce bottle, it doesn't matter what you put in it, it's still going to be the same price. Um, and then I had to do research on what products are we using, and is what's good, what's not good. Everything doesn't work for everybody, of course. Before I had locks, I was natural for 10 years prior to, so I knew the struggle of, man, this it worked for me one time, but it didn't work for me this time. Now I have to try something else, or mixing and just mixing all these products together. So I kind of went off of what I knew worked for me, what has worked for like friends and family and what they're using. Did some surveys on what people were using online. We did that before we even opened. A lot of people probably didn't know. They were probably like, "What is Brittany up to?" But because I'm like doing all these surveys online, but it really helped us pick our products out as to what we were going to have. And we actually started with one product line on each shelf, and now we have maybe some shelves we have like 6 to 8 product lines on each shelf. So we've grown a lot since we first opened.
So when you're dealing with what you're doing in the beauty supply, so I heard you say that you've got the braids, you've
Mm-hmm.
got the hair for the braids,
Mm-hmm.
the crocheted hair, you've got the wigs, and you've got the oil bar. So what other type of hair products do you carry? Like perms? Do you
Oh
carry?
yeah, we carry a few perms. Perms aren't so big now in the beauty supply world. However, we do know people still relax their hair, So we do carry motions. We carry dark and lovely, olive oil. I think we have cream of nature as well. So we do carry some relaxer products, but we have a lot of natural hair products to choose from. And we also just have the in between. Some people perm, then they go natural, then like we have all of those. Tresemme, Suave, Giovanni, like we carry it all. We have Shea Moisture, Mael. Softy has a naturals line, old school Softy hair oil. They actually have a naturals line. And we also have local racks. My daughter, she makes body scrubs and lip gloss and everything. So she was basically like the first person to be local and on our racks in India. Now we have about 1, 2, I'm gonna say we have about 6 local brands now
Okay.
on our racks in here, and we also have clothing. So the clothing sold really well, especially our sweatshirts that we've kind of gotten known for. It says "Good people do good things," so we'll be ordering some more of those this year for fall and winter.
Okay. All right. So in when people come into your store, what's the first thing they see when they come into the store?
The first thing they see, they usually look over and they see this behind me, which is that is my grandmother's picture. She was like 15 years old on this picture. Her name was Maxine Moore. We named the shop after her, so that's why we call it the Max Beauty Co. Her name was Maxine. So that's the first thing they do, and then they always look up. They'll look at me, or they'll look at my mom, and they'll go, "Who is that?" you know. So then we have to explain it to them, and then they all say like, "Wow, it's really nice in here."
Okay,
You
good.
know, and that was the reaction that we wanted from our people, because we wanted to give them something nice that they could go to and didn't feel like they were just like pressured to buy something. I let people they come in, I don't hover over them. I ask them if they need help with anything, and that's it. Let them enjoy the shopping experience.
Now I know we here in Indianapolis we do not have a lot of black owned beauty stores.
No, currently right now, as far as I know, it's us. We have House of Beauty Miss Cutie in Washington Square Mall. We have Wow Beauty off of Arlington, and I can't think of the cross street. And we also have Urban Beauty on the south side.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say there's a newer one in Plainfield that may have just opened. I think they have like a suite, but I think they're getting ready to move into like a storefront
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. But yeah, there's not a lot, and it's a lot of discrimination in this industry.
Okay, now you bring up a very interesting point there. You said there's
This
a lot of discrimination in the industry. Okay, explain that because I didn't
I
know that.
didn't yeah, I didn't learn about it until I got in it. Like, I didn't realize it was going to be as hard as it is. Um, Even still today, like the vendor that I use is actually a African American man, and he's one of the only hair vendors here that will supply black-owned beauty supply stores. And he's based out of Florida. So it's hard for us to get contracts. They make it harder for us to get contracts with the big sensational companies. Like, so you have Sensational, you have Outre. Those are the main two brands that you want to have. Sensational told us we were too close to the Asian beauty supply down the street. So that's why we could not get an account with them. However, I was able to get an account with Janet, and we do have an account with Outre. So
That's interesting because you would think that they would, since you're going to be selling to our community, that it didn't matter the locale
you would
unless
think
they
that would,
expect them
yep.
to have a higher walkthrough and price point to where there's a certainty that they're going to make their money.
Yeah. So in doing this research that I've been doing, it's like a movement almost. So um, a lot of the Asian beauty supply stores are all connected. Okay, so yes, they can have, like, I was fighting for it because I'm like, wait a minute, there's a beauty supply right down the street from them. Like, and I know they have accounts. You get what I'm saying? But they're
Mm-hmm.
all connected. They all group together and do orders, and they pick it up from one location. Like, they have a whole network. There's been times when I would order from some of our product distributors, and they would tell me, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that in stock." And I'm like, you all said that last time. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, okay, then it got to the point for me. I'm like, I'm going down there. Like I go to Chicago, I go to Atlanta, I go wherever I need to go to get our stuff because it got to the point to where I'm kind of feeling like you all are just pushing me off and hoping that I just stop. And I'm not. So I go down there now to get our products, and they literally try to kind of bum rush us at the door, tell us they need our ID, they need our business license. They ask if we have an account, and they're surprised when I say we do have an account with you guys. And so they ask for all of my information, look us up. Meanwhile, other people can just walk on in, you know, because they're Asian. So they can just walk on by, and when they look us up and they see, oh, they do have an account, they have to let us in. And guess what? The product that they just told me was out of stock is right there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting to me because I would not have expected that. I would not have expected that you would deal with that level. Yep. Because I know I've been to Miss Cutie House of Beauty in Washington Square, and I thought, because every time I heard people talk about it, I thought her place was as big as the Asian places are.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's a basic store.
Right.
And she has a lot of product, but hers is a lot of hair and a lot of natural hair products and things like that. But I never thought that there would be discrimination against us because you selling to us.
Yeah. But see, they dominated this whole industry. And I hate to say it, but we allowed it to go down in a sense. We allowed it to happen, you know. So now it's just, now we're trying to kind of take it back. You know what I mean? Like we need our products back, you know. Even a lot of the natural hair companies, a lot of people don't know this, they're owned by other cultures. They're not owned by us. Or we'll get big, and then guess what? A big name brand will come and buy it off of us, and we just sell it, you know. Right. And I hate that as well because I'm like, ugh, now they're going to mess up the ingredients. It's not going to be the same, you know, when they sell those off to the big brand companies. And that's usually what happens. But we do carry, Maelle, who's actually from Indiana, and she still runs her business. So her products sell really well in here. We have a young lady, she's 24 years old from here, Lux Locks. Her products sell really well in here. Talia Wajid, her products are selling really well as well. So we do try to make it a point to carry our own products and gear our customers to what is Black owned or whatever. I know a lot of our customers, they're used to the Expressions braiding hair, the Rua braiding hair. And we have a young lady, Stacia Harris. She's created magic fingers. And a lot of people are kind of just now finding out about her. But when we opened, we made sure to get her hair in here. So when people come in, they'll kind of look over at it. And I go up to them and I just kind of explain to them, hey, this is a Black owned hair brand right here, you know. And they'll look again, they'll be like, what? You know, so they get excited and they'll go ahead and try it out. My sister-in-law loved it. She's always ordering it from us. She stays in Wisconsin. So I think it's just us helping each other in a sense to keep it in the
that's important. I want to ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, of course, my grandson has natural hair, but my granddaughter also has her hair natural, not permed or anything like that. But I have noticed, and I've realized here recently that products that she has been using for years, she can no longer use.
Yep.
And I mean, to the point where it's literally breaking your face out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of like, well, what has happened? Is she become more sensitive to the product, or did they change something
Mm-hmm.
in the product?
Yep. That happens a lot. Especially when, like I said, it's the products that we don't know are really not Black owned, and they change these ingredients in these products, or if we sell it off to somebody and they change them. Carol's daughter is a prime example of that. I used to use Carol's daughter religiously, even before Mary J. Blige endorsed the product. And once they sold it off, it totally changed. So that could very well be what's happening with her.
So for someone that has just switched over, they've
Mm-hmm.
just switched over
Mm-hmm.
from permed hair to natural hair,
Mm-hmm.
and they have no idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What would be a good place for them to start as they begin their journey to natural hair? Hmm.
Like their curl pattern as well. A lot of us are 4C curl. So 4C curl, Mael is really good with that 4C hair texture. So if I notice that they're 4C, I'll give them towards Mael. But
Okay, so you said they're 4C. So kind of explain to me what that means when you say 4C.
yes, it's the kind of curl pattern it is. And I only know it when I see it. It's just funny like that. I only know, like, I can look at somebody and be like, are you a 4C curl pattern? If they know about curl patterns, they'll be like, oh yeah, I am, And so if they know their curl pattern, it's easier for me to kind of guide them to the product. However, if it's like you said, they're just transitioning, don't know nothing, I usually gear them towards the softy line, just because Softy has been around so long. A lot of us trust Softy. We grew up on Softy. So I trust them, and I love their naturals line. And I haven't had not one complaint with any of our customers. They come back and get it and everything.
I might have to get some of that for my grand girl, because
Okay.
she has a very it's the spiral type of
I
curl.
4C.
Okay.
That's how 4C looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and because actually when her hair is sectioned off, the
Mm-hmm.
way that your braids look in here is how her strand curls down.
Okay.
It if you pull it, it's like a sponge and it pops back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, for individuals that are really looking for someplace to support, to make it their home base of where they get all of their hair care needs and whatever else they're looking for, why would they come to your place? Besides it being a boutique and how you explained it before, what sets your shop apart from anyone else's?
I think it's gonna kind of get a little personal for me. I think what sets us apart is that we actually care, and we know about our hair. You know what I mean? We can help our customers actually pick out these products. If they go down to the Asian stores, they don't know. They can't. The question you just asked me about your grandbaby, they can't answer that question. They have not one clue. So I feel like for us, if somebody comes in this door and they actually have a problem, and instead of them trying to figure it out, we can figure it out together.
Okay. So it's really about that personal touch and that customer service that you're able to get and make people feel welcome the minute that they walk in the door.
Definitely. A lot of people say it feels so homey.
Okay. All
When
right. So I want to switch over to the spa. Now we've talked all that, we're going to talk about the hair. So I'm interested in the spa because my niece is literally in school right now to be an esthetician. Did I say that right?
yes, tell her
Okay.
keep
So
going. What school is she in?
it's in Fishers.
Chicoche.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I know it when I hear it, but to try to say it is a whole nother
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
But and she has some skin issues as well. And so I think that's what gravitated her into getting that license to be able to do that work. So I noticed when I was kind of doing a little bit of research that you do all kinds of services. You've got the facials, the chemical peels, the dermaplanes. What is a beard facial?
So a beard facial is for okay, so you know how it's really in right now for our men to they have these thick beards, long beards. We're actually giving them a facial, but a beard treatment in that facial as well. So you have a lot of men that suffer from bumps up under razor bumps or whatever. They get acne up under their beards. I offer what's called high frequency, which is like an electric current, but it pushes oxygen into their skin. So it's helping to decrease the inflammation that's under there. Um,
Okay.
so I'll take that frequency comb and I kind of comb through their beard with that. Um, and they also get like a cleansing with it, a moisturizer with it, and everything just on their beard. A lot of men have dirty beards because they drop food in their beards. They do. So, and they don't realize that it's in there, but it is.
Okay. So when I was looking, the other thing that jumped out at me was lip fillers and fine line facial fillers. Okay.
Okay.
That's foreign language to me.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Because
Tell
I
me.
love talking about it. So it's a needleless filler. It still breaks the skin and it uses forced air pressure. So there's a tool that I use and it looks like a pen. I swear it's like a bigger version of a pen. And you have an ampule with the filler that's at the bottom of it. And you have the button at the top. And you're basically just clicking this button. You got to know how to measure it out too. But you're measuring it out, clicking the button, and it's pushing the filler into the skin. It's breaking the skin with the air pressure and it's pushing it in there just like how a needle goes into the skin, except it's not that invasive. So that's the only way as an esthetician that I can even do fillers.
So why would someone get a filler?
So, and it's funny because I've actually had a lot of African American women come in and get fillers. And I'm gonna tell you why they come. All of the ones I've had, they've all said because their top lip is not asymmetric with their bottom lip.
Well, none of ours is.
So they like it to match. Like their top lip is extremely thin.
Okay.
Yeah. Like no top lip at all. So that's what I get from the African American side. And of course, like the Caucasian side or other races, a lot of them don't have bigger lips like we do. So they just want fuller lips.
Okay.
So I do get like other races that come in here to get fillers. And then you
Wow.
have the fine lines and wrinkles. So it does the same thing as like how Botox, people get Botox for their wrinkles, their forehead wrinkles or whatever. And to be honest, it's funny how I got started doing the wrinkles. I was just doing fillers in the lips. And my mom, who's a nurse, by the way, storms back here when I was closing up one day. And she's like, hey, I need you to do this filler on my forehead. She's like, what? And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, I'm sick of seeing this line right here across my forehead. She said, you do them on the left, why you can't do them on my forehead? And I was like, look, I don't have time for this. And I knew it could be done because people do them, you know. So I'm just like, okay. I was like, let's just do it. So it was me, her, and my cousin, who's also a nurse, back there. And I'm filling in her line on her forehead. And it turned out really well.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, so I get people that want that, or they want their frown lines over here on the side of their face. Me personally, I just done been there all my life, so it's just gonna
Okay,
stay.
so you also do, explain to me now, I've heard of dermaplane, but
Yes,
I really don't know what that is.
that is my favorite thing to do. It's another form of exfoliation.
Okay.
So you take a medical grade scalpel. Yeah. Okay. I scare people when I say scalpel. So think of it as, people say it's like shaving your face.
Okay.
So you take this scalpel and you're gliding it in strokes, but it's a certain way you have to go about doing this procedure. Um, you're gliding it across the skin. You're getting off all dead skin cells and vellus hair. So it's brightening up your skin in a sense, because think about, we have all this peach fuzz on our face, and then we also have dead skin cells that we really don't see per se, but it's there. And you really notice the difference once it gets done. Me, I like to, I've seen where some estheticians use like a serum or oil when they're doing it. Me personally, I do it dry. And I think that's why I get the results that I get, because if you think about it, if you're putting something oily on your face before you're doing it, you're not getting that dead skin off. Mm-hmm. You might get the peach fuzz off, but you're not getting that dead skin off. So I do mine's dry, and I've also just gotten into training other estheticians how to do it. So that's been awesome. I've linked up with my school that I went to prior to, and I've gotten a lot of students to sign up for my classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't just do what you do in your spot. You have taken on the responsibility of training others to be able to do what you do.
Yes, ma'am. I do teeth whitening, waxing, all of that. Yep.
Okay, so the waxing. What
I
kind of
swear up
waxing
and
are
down, I would never. When I was in school, I said, look, I'll do this to get out of school, and that's it. And I'm not doing any Brazilian waxes. And it turned out I was the best Brazilian waxer in my class. Just because I wanted to hurry up and get done with it. I learned all these different techniques and everything on how to hurry up and get done with it. So I ended up actually training some of my classmates how to do Brazilian waxes. And yes, I offer it. And I said I wouldn't, but it's one of my highest
wow.
yeah, that's what a lot of my clientele is Brazilian waxes. Dermaplaning, Brazilian waxes, and our signature facials, and the lip filler. I kind of put that on another scale. I don't know why. I just kind of sit that off to the side, but I do. But it's kind of becoming popular as well. Yep, and the teeth whitening.
Okay. So
Yep.
when you and your mom, now you said you opened it in 2020 in November, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've been at it for what, about 10 months?
Yep. Yep.
So, um, as you are as you are learning this business, you've been running the business for 9 to 10 months now. What are some of the major lessons that you've learned?
The major lessons that I've learned is to take it one day at a time, and don't overthink it, or don't stress myself out. You know, I think when you first open a business, you think, you dream of, like the doors just getting knocked down and everybody just flowing in here, you know, and hey, just buy me out of all my products. But that's not what it was when we first opened. We had to build our way up to it, you know. And I'm just so happy that the community has kind of embraced us. If you know that group Black Dollar on Facebook, when I tell you that has been such a blessing for us, because I don't know how we would have got the word out as fast as we did. Um, and Black Dollar, that's where we get a lot of our clientele from. Is off of there. People share. Somebody will be in there asking a question about the spa, or you know, do anybody do dermaplaning? People just start tagging me, you know. So it's been amazing, honestly. But just to take it one day at a time, and I'm still in a sense kind of learning that, just because I'm a perfectionist in a sense. So I gotta just learn how to just kind of. Some days are gonna be slow, you know, and some days we're gonna be booming. We still to this day have not figured out what days are our busiest, because it just happens. Like literally we can bang on a Tuesday and be dry on a Friday, you know. Like we haven't figured out what day is our actual busiest day.
So if you had the opportunity to talk to other young people that are interested in doing what it is that you do,
Mm-hmm.
what bit of advice would you give them?
I would tell them to make sure they're doing all of their research first. Make sure that they have a mentor if they can find one within this industry, because it's a huge help. If you have somebody that's been through it, I've had maybe about 2 or 3 mentees, even in the midst of me still learning myself. But it still warms my heart to help other people. So if they can find someone to just kind of hold their hand in a sense along the way, not saying to do anything for them, but to give them that information and that knowledge of what not to do. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
don't do this. You know what I mean? Make sure you're doing this, or you can reach out to this person. I didn't know where to start. So it was just a bunch of researching, and we even hired like a consultant, all this kind of stuff, which is something that actually me and my mom are going to get into as well, as consulting future business owners on opening maybe boutiques or Black-owned beauty supply stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you've been taking this journey,
Mm-hmm.
what is one of your funniest stories?
One of our funniest stories. I don't know. What is one of our funniest stories? I don't know if I would call it funny though. I had somebody call me, which wasn't too long ago, and ask me if I could send them pictures of Brazilian waxes that I that I've done.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am. And there's some estheticians that take before and after pictures. I'm just not that one. So I explained to the young lady, look, I'm sorry, I don't do that. You know, I said I respect my client's privacy, and I will hope that you would want yours respected too, you know. And she was like, well, I'm just trying to see, you know, because I'm just trying to book with you. And I said, well, book with me and you'll see, you know. But you all don't go to European Wax Center asking them if they have before and after pictures. So I expect you all to respect my business and treat us the same way that you would treat them.
Good point. Good point. So, what has been one of your most touching stories?
I get every now and then I get women that come in here, men too, and they will come in here and pray. And I cry every time. I just had a lady do it yesterday. I cry every time somebody comes in and does it. And this young lady, she's not super young, but she came in and she said, I just wanted to come in and tell you how blessed y'all are and are going to be, is what she told me. And I just looked at her and she said, I've been meaning to come down here. And I'm like, well, thank you for coming. And she was like, but that's what I came down here for. She said, now I'm going to get something, but that's what I came down here to tell you. And it always just brings tears to my eyes when there's people out here praying for you and rooting for you, that you don't even know, total strangers. Because sometimes you don't get that from the people you do know.
Yeah. Trust me, I know that part.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys did a grand opening back in November when you opened?
We did.
How was that?
It was good. We had a great first day. It was just I don't know if I want to call it I guess I can call it out of body experience, because I felt like I was there but I wasn't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like I couldn't really embrace it and enjoy what was happening. So I can't wait till this November, because I want to do like a re-grand opening or a first year anniversary, whatever. Just so I can appreciate it. I appreciate it more. I do appreciate it more because I put my hard work into it. And I quit my daytime job back in April, because after the news interview went out on our store, they kind of started messing with me. And so I talked to my husband about it. I talked to my mom and they said, let it go. And I cried and cried and cried because my husband's an independent contractor. I carried the insurance or whatever. And that was scary for me because I had been in that business since I was 18. Mm-hmm. That was like really scary for me to just let it go like that. And when I tell you God had me, he had me. Like he had me.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that was, sometimes I say that's just him kind of pushing you out there, telling you, okay.
I know that's what it was.
Go.
I know it. And I'm going to tell you how I know it. I'm going to say 2 days before I made the decision, I was already so stressed out. I was managing about 13 lines of business across the U.S. And I was just stressed out. And I remember walking in here and I literally out loud before the store opened, I was just like, God, please just, like, if it's time for me to just move on from there, like, just give me a sign, please. Like I was just drained. And boom, I get a call and they're asking me, hey, can you just go home because we noticed that you're on a public network. Now, I'm able to work in my back office in the back during the daytime. And I said, well, is it affecting my productivity? Is it affecting my work? They told me no, it wasn't. And I said, okay. And I said, so what are you calling me for? Because they was like, well, it's saying that you're on a public network. I said, well, it's not a public network, it's a private network. And then that's kind of when, the news interview came out, like she just blurted it out. And I was just like, oh, okay, so that's what this is about. Yeah, we were just like you at home. And I said, okay. She called me the day before I was due to go out on vacation for spring break with my kids. And that's when I went home, told my husband, and I talked to my mom, and they were just like, just be done. And when I went back, I put in my 2 weeks notice. I put in my 2 weeks notice because I'm like, I'm just not going to leave our business that we have carried now for months to just sit here and dissipate and, I can't do it. And I had to trust what I just asked God to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was on your website, I and it's so funny because I hadn't planned on asking a question about this until we started talking about the Brazilian waxes. So and I'm gonna say Kiara King because that's the name that's on here. So she's already out there. So I ain't putting her on Front Street. She said that it was her first time getting a Brazilian wax and dermaplaning facial. She said, this business is super clean and elegant. Brittani was very professional and courteous and went above and beyond to make sure I was comfortable. 5 stars from me.
Yay! Yes, my daughter actually helps run the website. So
you say, I don't know what's out there. So there is another one. Rita King says, love, lovey, my deep wave headband wing. The quality and softness of the hair is everything. I also love the edge effect, edge control gel. I will be ordering more products. Okay, so what's the edge effect, edge control gel?
It's just another edge control that we carry. And we also, Edge Effect has like they have like a, I guess you would call their regular edge control, but they also have like a tinted. So people that are graying or whatever, they can just kind of put it on their gray edges.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. And we got really well known for our headband wigs too, like when we first opened.
As you can see, I don't wear wigs. Mm-hmm. So what is a headband wig?
A headband wig. Oh, hold on. I think I have mine right down here. So a headband wig.
Is that the one that has the band that goes around the back of your head?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen one on TV, but I haven't really. No, I really don't know. I've just seen somebody put one on TV.
Yep, but no. So this is one of them right here, and it's a deep wave, and it literally, I can't put it on over my locks. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. And it has this band on it.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're able to just kind of put it on and push it to like right here, and it just looks like your hair in a headband.
Okay.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yes, it looks like your hair just in a headband. And you can put little fashion headbands on top of it. People love doing that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You know, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking with you, Brittani.
Yes, same.
Your wealth of knowledge, and I can tell you're passionate about what you do and you love what it is that you are doing.
I do. I love it. Every day I just love it.
So I'm going to give you an opportunity here to share anything with our audience that you want to share at this point.
Yes. Is it okay if I go ahead and
Yes, ma'am.
Flip the camera around? I'm going to walk out so people can see the building, because people get so confused sometimes trying to find the place. Okay. I think they look for it to say beauty supply. So let me flip it around here. How do I flip it?
There's a camera that has an arrow on it.
A camera with the arrow.
Touch your screen, and it should pop up. It's either going to be up at the top or down at the bottom.
Nope. It's not letting me flip it. I'm touching it. Okay. I think I got it.
Okay, yeah.
Can you
there
see?
You go. Yep.
Okay, here we are. And at night when it gets dark, it lights up so people can still find us. But we are right In the same lot as Family Leisure off of Oak Landing and Pendleton Pike. There's Whiskey Business, Anytime Fitness. We're right in between Anytime Fitness and Mi Tanapa, a Mexican restaurant. But that's it right there. We have our banner right here that kind of shows everything we have in the store so people can kind of see from the outside. And then this is how it's looking when you're walking in. So this is like our little seating area. You can see our clothes and everything. Can you still see me, Michelle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did it go off?
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay. So these are all of our products. This is our product wall right here. So here's that edge effect too, Michelle. That they were talking about. So this is like the normal kind right here. And then you have the tinted versions of it. So we have the hair dyes. These are our relaxers. We have different hair oils. These are like all of the natural products kind of going down here. We also have stuff for, body and face over here. And we also have items for men. Just kind of all right here. So just a little bit of everything. This is our braid hair wall right here. And that is my esthetician room. I actually have somebody in there getting their teeth whitened right now. So I can't go in there. This is our jewelry wall. And our makeup stand. It usually lights up. My daughter has turned off the light, but it lights up. And then this is the wig wall, Michelle. I told you we just put up. I just did that like 2 days ago. I fell off the chair the other day trying to do it. And then this is our accessories over here. So this is like where you can get like hair clippers, blow dryers, flat irons, and then all of the little accessories and everything for your hair. And if you can see, this is the oil bar that I was telling you about. Right up here. So we have jars with oils people can mix and match and everything like that. Barrettes for the little girls, rollers, just everything. Our fingernail polish. This is our crochet wall right here too, back there. And we also keep our bundles on satin racks in an enclosed case.
Okay.
So they don't dry out or don't, they already don't shed, but we just want to make sure we keep them as safe as possible.
Okay.
So, and we just got some, y'all know the old school slouch socks. We have some slouch socks and I was excited to get those. This is one of our clothing tables, and we have some hats. We also have the fedora hats. Those went very quick. We only have one left. And that's the oil bar again. Here's like all of the ingredients that you can put into the jars.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is really it. And our clothes are over here. We kind of have clothes sprinkled throughout. We have some mannequins that have some on in the window there. But so we're known for our t-shirts. We get a lot of t-shirts with sayings on them. So you see these, you got brown sugar bag. This one. So a lot of people love our t-shirts, though.
Okay.
They're huge sellers. Yep. But that is it.
Beautiful shop. That's a really nice shop.
Thank you. Now I got to figure out how to turn this camera back around. Okay, I got it. All right, can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, Brittani, I must say that it has been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. It's been so awesome speaking with you, Michelle. Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm always willing to support Black businesses, and especially Black owned and woman owned businesses.
Yes, thank you. I wish my mom was here. So you could.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, she had a meeting that she had to stay on, so I told her just to stay home. But yeah, hopefully you'll get to meet her one day.
I plan on, because actually you're not that far from me. So yeah. I didn't, for some reason, I thought you guys were on the west side. For whatever reason, I thought you were on the west side.
No, we get a lot of people. We have a lot of people that come from the west side and they come here. We get people that come from Chicago. I just get real shocked when they tell us they came from out of town sometimes to come here. But hopefully, God willing, we'll be able to get another location and can go across town.
Okay. Well, as we end our show, thank you again, Brittani, for coming on and sharing your new business with us and walking us through what it looks like through your eyes.
Yes, ma'am.
So everybody, this is your girl, Michelle, with our guest, Brittani, on Girls Talk Real Talk, because when girls talk, just about anything can happen. So we'll see you next week for another opportunity to share another wonderful guest with our listening and our viewing audience. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Miss Michelle.